interrupt this transmission to bring you the following live broadcast.
How's everyone doing tonight? Woo! It's Wednesday. It's 6 o'clock somewhere. With Karina ready in her chair. And almost 10 whole people watching from home. Are you ready? I said, are you ready? It's time for the ThinkSoJoE Show!
I'm going to press this button now. That should have clicked to us. I don't know what happened. Oh, well. Hey, here we are. ThinkSoJoE Show.
Hello.
Yes. All right. I think we're doing everything we're supposed to be doing. Hey. The button,
Hi.
the 559 button is like stuck. Oh, there it goes. It just finished. It would have just now clicked to us. We're a minute early. Well, now it's 6 o'clock. We're good. Whatever. Kevin's here.
Hello.
I'm pointing that way. He's that way. Anyway, for me, he's that way. For anybody,
I'm this way for me.
anybody watching, he's that way. There's Karina. She says, I can't see because Kevin's Skype thing's in the way. Hiya, she says. Hi, Karina. Karina's not available today to do the show, so Kevin generously stepped in. Today we've got an interview with On The Cinder. Great Buffalo band. They've got a new album out called Sedentary Release that they're going to talk in depth about in this interview that's been pre-recorded. And either that or I'm going to teleport to their place. You decide. Anyway, Paul Rudd.
Change your shirt along the way.
Paul Rudd is here, the people's sexiest man. Yeah, I'm going to change my shirt along the way, too. Paul Rudd is in the chat. Anyway, after last week's conversation, he must have heard the show. Or it's just Laura. One of the two. Anyway. So yeah, great interview with On The Cinder. They've got the new album Sedentary Release out now, and an album release show both in Rochester and in Buffalo in a couple of weeks, and they'll tell you all about that during the interview. We've got some great music for you today from some great bands who are playing this weekend, and then we'll tell you all about our crazy week last week. Where we replaced 3 bands in the span of a week. That was a crazy week. I got the call Sunday that Claymore wasn't going to be able to play, and then I got the call Monday that Smitten for Trash was unavailable, and then I found out the day before that we were unable to play. And then I spent the next couple of next 24 hours, like getting COVID tests and hoping to feel better, or hoping to not. I'm just reading the chat, so I got distracted. Anyway, Paul Rudd said
That's how it works.
He heard I was saying horrible things about him last week. Not horrible, just
That's because you were.
I was not saying horrible things about Paul Rudd.
You were. Come on.
I was not.
Don't mess with Paul Rudd.
I was saying that People Magazine hasn't met me, so they don't know that I'm sexier than Paul Rudd. Anyway, Ryan's in the chat. He's apologizing. He's in the Facebook chat. You don't need to apologize, dude. Stop apologizing. Yeah,
You're just lucky I had other shit to take care of that weekend, too.
Karina wants to know how you're doing, Ryan. We got to get a unified chat for all this so everybody can see everybody's chat. So, I mean, I have one, but I don't know if I can give everybody access to it. I suppose I could put it on the screen. Yeah, I'm not going through all that. Not going through all that right now, because then I got to readjust everything else to.
That's what the preparation part before the show is for.
Yeah. Oh well. Anyway. So yeah, Friday, I'm like, I call up Rite Aid, right? And I'm like, I don't have insurance or a car. How do I come in for a COVID test? And they're like, oh, you can still come. You just got to go through the drive-through. And, Kirsten's on Twitch. Now everybody's on. We got people on every platform now chatting. Anyway, so I'm like, okay, cool. I go through. You're like, they're like, you have to fill out the online form. So I go fill out the online form. I get my appointment for 1 o'clock. I call up like one of the local, like, We Now, like, urgent care places. And they're like, oh, yeah, it's $100 for if you're uninsured. And 90% of people get the results in 24 hours. I'm like, yeah, I don't want to be part of that 10% and paying $100 for this. I might as well just
No one wants to be part of the 10%.
Might as well just go to Rite Aid and get my test done there. So here I am, 1 o'clock. Friday afternoon, walking through the Rite Aid drive-through, sticking swabs up my nose, and handing it back to the pharmacist through the window. Like, hey, can I still go out tomorrow night if I'm not showing symptoms? And she says, I'm like, if you were me and tomorrow was your birthday, she's like, oh, I mean, yeah, just wear a mask. And so Ryan says, pretty good now, just 5 straight days of Super Nintendo and Undertale. And Kirsten Karina says to come to the YouTube party. Anyway, so, and that's basically the CDC guidelines, too, is, if you're not showing symptoms, wear a mask just to be safe. So here I am at Stamps wearing a mask. The sound guy comes up to us. The sound guy I never met before. He goes, do you really need that mask? I'm like, do you really want COVID? Like... I don't think I
was
have
standing right there for that one.
I don't think I have it, but just in the off chance I do, I'm wearing the mask. So, but I'm still like paranoid. So Saturday I go to Rite Aid. I buy one of those like at-home tests that's supposed to be pretty inaccurate, especially if you like aren't showing symptoms. And it came up negative. So I'm like, all right, I feel okay. This came up negative. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna wear a mask the whole time. And which is a trip when you're also wearing earplugs that have like a little band on them, because I'm trying to like take the mask off to eat a cupcake and I can't because it's blocked in by my earplugs. But my results came back Sunday from the Rite Aid test. It was negative, so had a bit of a scare this weekend. And I gotta tell you, that's kind of a trip, like thinking you might have it, because then like every little ache, every sneeze, every cough, and it's just like, is that a symptom? Do I have COVID? But thankfully, I don't, and I'm okay. I haven't had any. Kirsten's on YouTube, but she's keeping the Twitch up to help our metrics on Twitch.
Thanks, Kirsten, and thank you, Karina. Isn't it great?
That is
some dude made it for me.
It's a wonderful shirt. We're talking about maybe doing a limited run of Pride shirts of that nature. And just kind of, the original idea was, hey, I'm gonna do the skull in the flag colors, but the problem is that there's white and black, so I couldn't put it on a white shirt or a black shirt without making it look like really weird. So it's like, hey, I got an idea. I'll just do what I did with the other flag t-shirt we have. Kirsten's down for an ace one.
I think Nikki wants one too. She wants to kind of design her own like flag proportions and everything, though.
Okay. We'll make sure everybody's represented and gets what they need and what they want. We're we love everybody except racists and Nazis and homophobes.
Yes.
And
right. All the phobes.
Yeah.
Can go phobe themselves.
Yeah, we dislike people who hate people, like for no reason. There's a whole discussion going on about pride flag colors in the chat. Now, you were mentioning that you can't find gender fluid flag stuff anywhere.
Well, it's not that I can't find it anywhere. Like, it's available if you like go online and you know where to look. Like, people do put it on stuff, but like when you're like out and about and you see all like the standard pride shit, like this is one that always gets excluded.
Gotcha.
Not for any particular reason. I guess it's just not as widespread a thing.
Right. Yeah. I don't know if I've ever seen the flag until you sent it to me. Like, this is what I want. Like, oh, okay, I can do that, I think. I had no.
And I appreciate you doing it.
I just, we kind of try to do like something. I tried to do something custom for each show that we play. So it was like, hey, anybody want anything custom while I'm gone? And you're like, let me get this. And then Ryan got the same thing. So I'm like, all right, cool, no problem. That means I only got to buy all these colors once. And I ended up spending like $90 at the craft store. Like. Just to make 3 shirts. I mean, there's still plenty left to do more, but that was an expensive day at the craft store. It's all good. At least it wasn't Hobby Lobby. I should have done it at Hobby Lobby. Should have gone to Hobby Lobby, been like, yeah, I'm buying this to make drawing a blank here. Just lost it.
Transgender.
No, gender fluid. I'm
gender fluid. Okay.
Buying this to make a gender fluid pride shirt. Should have done it just to spite Hobby Lobby. But then you're giving them money and don't want to do that.
That's no different than those dumb motherfuckers with the Trump cup. They would still go to Starbucks and buy their goddamn coffee, but then be like, "Yeah, put Trump on the cup."
Yeah, right.
Gotcha.
I don't understand Trump supporters. I never will. I had one guy tell me one time, he said, I'm surprised you're not a Trump supporter. I'm like, why is anybody? Like, I don't understand. And here's the thing. You still see Trump flags and everything everywhere. You know what you don't see? Joe Biden stuff. Because people who voted for Biden aren't fucking insane. I mean, I'm sure some of them are.
Oh yeah. Oh no, there's plenty of Joe Biden stuff, but it usually is derogatory.
Right. Yeah, for sure. I mean, they've even got some code words they use now to basically say "fuck Joe Biden." But I saw a meme that said anybody that's sharing this code word, it's to find other pedophiles. So
let's spread that one.
Yeah, I'm down to spread that one.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, you lost. The same
get
people
over it.
The same people who were saying get over it when Hillary lost are the same people who can't get over it when Trump lost, and also can't get over the fact that the South lost the Civil War. So
I was about to say, it's been how long since the Civil War ended, and they're still flying that fucking flag?
Exactly.
It's about heritage. Your heritage to be an asshole.
Paul Rudd sent a photo of me to be rated, and people said that he's better looking. Yeah, okay, I'm sure. I don't know, man. He's got nice eyes. Anyway, Kirsten, confession time, has considered opening a Redbubble to target Trump supporters, but like hide weird messages in it. I can see that. Karina is complimenting the cellist this weekend that had a cello that read, "This machine kills fascists" on it.
I'm kind of mad that we missed them. Since we didn't end up playing that night, I wasn't in a rush to get out the door, but like I would have liked to have seen them.
I mean, John's standing next to me watching this band, and he just goes, "They're so good, dude. We got to play with them." Like, yeah, we're supposed to play with them tonight.
I'd be into that.
Yeah, no, definitely. I'd like to play both with the original lineup we were supposed to have and the two bands we ended up not playing with at the last minute. Because I mean, both shows would have been incredible to be on. I mean, hopefully if we redo this show, we draw more than 2 people, but that's besides the point.
That's just kind of the energy I feel that is happening to shows in general right now. It's like people are coming out, but like nobody knows how to interact, and they're kind of spread out far, which isn't the worst thing in the world, but at
No.
the same time there's like an apprehensive and awkwardness to the whole thing. It kind of drains some of the energy from it.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that was out of all the shows I've ever done, that was the first time I've actually had to pay out of pocket for the door guy and the sound guy. And like, you know, I hand the door guy his money, I hand the sound guy his money, and the door guy goes, "Happy birthday! Here's some of this back." Like, dude, you worked. Take the money. He's like, no, I'm not. No. Happy birthday, man. Take it. I don't need it. Like, okay.
That's because he is a great person.
He absolutely is. Talking about Cam from of Night and Light. Great human being, great individual.
Cam of just Cam fame.
Yeah. Kirsten says the shows she's been going to, people go right up front. Sadly, people start eventually taking off the masks despite the venue mandates. But baby steps, local level shows anyway, she says.
Where is this happening and how do we play there?
Rochester, let's go.
All right, people are going to shows in Rochester. Book it.
Was it'll be in the interview. I was having a little chat with On The Cinder about like, hey, take us on tour with you. So they suggested some places for us to play and how to get out there and get touring if we really wanted to do that. Karina,
What suggestions did they make?
they
I guess it'll be in the interview,
yeah,
won't it?
yeah. Stay tuned.
Okay.
There's a whole.
I won't spoil it then.
It turns into a whole Tyler rant, so it's.
Oh, I'm looking forward to this. I hope he trashes New Brunswick houses.
No.
No, I'm just joking. We don't trash New Brunswick houses. Lots of shit started in New Brunswick.
Kirsten says, so many shows in Rochester. She's free evenings. She'll be there. I gotta silence the Cynic shirt. I still gotta send out to her. I haven't mailed anything out in weeks. Which
get us on a bill with Turkey Blaster Omega.
Get us on a bill with Turkey Blaster Omega and Captain Tom and the Hooligans. Karina's talking about wanting them on a ska bill. That would be a great show.
That would be a fun as fuck show.
I mean, I know a guy who knows some people in Turkey Blaster that could maybe make that happen. He happens to be in our band. Ryan's brother is in Turkey Blaster Omega. So.
Oh, okay.
Kirsten says, I don't book shows. Get at Greg Burt. Greg Burt's usually the one that's booking us on shows. He hasn't booked us.
Yeah, like he's given us our best shows.
He hasn't booked us since things have been bad. I don't know if he knows we're taking bookings right now. I think he's like tried, and it's like, well, we're not doing anything right now, but let us know if you have anything, and we're listening. So yeah.
Right now, it kind of depends on what it is, since we have a lot of shit to work on in the background.
So 2022, get at us for shows if anybody's looking to book us, and she's going to send us a list of venues within walking distance of her apartment. Kirsten is. Works for me.
Can we play in her apartment?
Maybe. You just do it like silent disco style. We just have John with his electronic kit, and then the only sound in the room is vocals. Everybody's got headphones on.
John has an electronic kit?
Yeah. I don't know if it works, but he's got one. I keep asking him if it works. He's I think so. I don't know.
Sounds about right.
She says her cat would not be pleased. She can sit her down for a discussion. I don't know. Cats like me.
So your cat will get over it.
Yeah. Make some compromises. Yeah, we can. We'll be looking to book in 2022. Just right now, we're gonna get to work on some stuff and heal up from some stuff too, in some cases. But so hopefully we'll get some of the shit done that we want to get done in this downtime, because we have a tendency of saying, hey, let's take some time off and let's write some new stuff and let's record some new stuff, and then it just never happens. I'm surprised the EP got done.
I feel like we're a little bit more motivated for these things right now, though.
I think so. I think we're just like, Brian would want it. And just that Brian would want it mentality is like, let's do it. Hence why we're doing the project we're about to start work on. So I mean, we got to still narrow shit down, but we'll get there. And we got to work on some of these new songs too that have just been sitting there, not like just collecting dusts. I don't even know if Ryan's heard any of these new songs I got to send him.
Well, I finally finished the vocals and the lyrics for the one song.
Excellent. Can't wait to hear it. It's it's
one of the ones that you're saying Ryan probably hasn't heard. So
yeah, I can't like it's a very unique song for us, and it was just something that I started playing around with, and I kind of brought to the band like, hey, how about we do something like this? And Brian gave it a apt title for how it sounded. So yes, the show is live. Dr. Richmond, awesome in bed. That's an interesting name. Anyway, yes, the show is live.
Dick has entered the room.
I guess. Yes, this show, and at least this portion of this show is live. When we come back from the song break, that portion will be pre-recorded. And then when we come back from the song break after that, we'll be live again. So
I mean, you're playing the pre-recording live, so technically it's still live.
I guess.
You have to hit the play button live.
I do.
You have to hit the stop button live.
I do. So we did a like a multi-camera setup last night with lights and everything, and I borrowed some mics from Jay because it's like, I'm not bringing everything, dude. I'll bring the recorder, I'll bring the cameras, I'll bring the lights. Let me borrow some mics and some XLR cables, so we're good. And he's just sitting there like, man, you've really stepped your production game up, dude. Like, man, this is. And so I get home and I start trying to move all the files to the computer. And for whatever reason, it wouldn't read the memory card from my one camera. And I'm like, well, and it's the one that I was shooting the band with. And I'm like, fuck, what do I do? I'm like, let me try something because it's working in the camera. Why isn't it working in the SD card reader? So I plugged the camera in and was able to pull the files off that. Then the footage from the other camera wasn't playing nice in my video editing software. So I was like, screw this. I'm going to get work done. I'm going to go to bed. I'll get up in the morning and I'll figure this out. So I ended up having to download another like editing program that I wasn't like super used to. So you're going to see like, there will definitely be points where I am kind of out of sync with the audio. They're in sync.
It's called special effects. It's fine.
I guess, yeah. It's a micro SD card. No, that one was an actual SD. Let me see. That's a good question. Let's find out. That is an actual SD card, not a micro SD card. So I put it in my USB card reader here, which worked for all the rest of the cards. So I don't know what happened. This show's about the Buffalo, New York music scene. I like when people who don't know what we do show up and start asking questions about just watch the show, man. Enjoy. Kick back. It's about whatever we feel like. It's a show about nothing. If you like Seinfeld, you might like us. Probably not, because we don't make Seinfeld jokes.
It's like Seinfeld with punk rock.
I guess. That's a good description. What is the deal?
And sometimes metal.
What is the deal with pop punk? Anyway, yeah,
we don't want to go down that road.
I guess no, probably not. Probably not. I would imagine everything. I mean, it's probably formatted straight from whatever formatting the camera does. So I don't know. I mean, it worked from the camera. That's all that mattered. I got the footage. It worked. I managed to make everything work. I didn't like that editor that I was using today. It kept crashing on me. I'm like, fuck, I haven't saved. But luckily, it's like it auto-saved. So I'm like, oh, good. I don't have to start all the way back at like 3 minutes when I was on like 27 minutes. Yeah. So, yeah. Think metal was never a thing, Laura. It was a figment of your imagination. Anyway. And I send you that meme.
One might say that she thought it up.
Yeah, there you go. You thought it up. She thought Think Metal up. Think Metal was a show that aired on all WNY radio back in, I have no idea when, but yeah, we don't acknowledge that show. It didn't happen. Anyway, only the episodes where Brian co-hosted happened. The other episodes
I didn't know there was a thing that happened. Now my joke makes no sense.
It really, well, we'll acknowledge the episodes that Brian was on. We won't acknowledge anything else because, you know, that co-host was a figment of everybody's imagination, apparently. I don't know. But nevertheless, here we are with the current show on all WNY, ThinkSoJoE show. And 5 minutes to kill before we have to get to the song break. So we're not even on all WNY right now. It's like stuck on connecting. So like
interesting.
As soon as we hit the song break, I got to message Scott and be like, dude, it's not working again. At least I'm recording from my mixer, so we're all good. Still get the podcast out.
So are we allowed to talk about the stuff that Living Braindead has coming up? We can talk about it later. Obviously, we got On The Cinder shit coming up, and that's more important.
I mean,
you're talking about it vaguely, and I was like, I didn't know we were under some sort of secrecy clause all of a sudden.
No, I mean, we can absolutely talk about it. I kind of alluded to it on Facebook last night or the night before. It was 2 years since the first time we'd played Never Gonna Give You Up as a blink out. We do these things called blink outs where we play Damn It by Blink-182, but John and I can never nail that ending, so we just launch into an 80s song instead. And the first one was Never Gonna Give You Up. We did that 2 years ago, a couple of days ago, for the first time. And I alluded to the fact that we will be doing that again as we embark on a new project. We're actually going to do an 80s cover EP, which is I know another band just recently did one, but this is something that we've had in our minds for a while and just really started talking about it again just before theirs came out, and none of the songs are probably going to be the same, I would imagine. So
who came out with one?
I think it was The Last Rain. I'm not entirely sure off the top of my head. Maybe Karina remembers.
I'd be surprised if it ends up being some of the same songs. That would be just an unfortunate coincidence.
Yeah, I don't think it. I mean, even if it is, it's going to be like completely different styles than what the other band did. Yeah. I want to say it was The Last Rain, but I'm not sure. I'm trying to find out now. Maybe it wasn't because I'm not seeing the album art here anywhere. I don't know. It was one of the local metal bands. Oh, there it is. Yeah, it was The Last Rain. They released an EP called Just Too Darn Loud.
I'll have to check that out. I didn't even know that was a thing that happened.
It's I have listened to it. It's pretty good, but it's definitely like we're definitely, even if we do play any of the same songs, it's going to be a completely different style than what they did. So I'm
kind of curious now.
Yeah, they released it back in September. Again, it's called Just Too Darn Loud, which of course is a reference to Huey Lewis and the News Huey Lewis in Back to the Future. And the last song on there is The Power of Love, of course. So we're not the only ones doing Back to the Future themed stuff. But again, two completely different genres and two completely different songs. And, you know, we
I was nowhere near any of these songs in my head, so we're good.
Yeah, neither was I. So I think maybe I might have heard Careless Whisper the other day, like, oh, hey, that might be a good one. And then I'm like, nah. So I don't think we're taking anything from their track list. And I also want to point out that if any of the songs we do are things that like Me First and the Gimme Gimmes have already done, any sonic similarities are pure coincidences. Like,
Yeah, but I've been trying to avoid them so that way I don't get accidental ideas.
right. I mean, like, before I really started, like, listening to Me First and the Gimme Gimmes, like, on a regular basis, I was, like one of the blink outs I wanted to do was Straight Up by Paula Abdul. And it was, then I heard theirs, and I'm like, oh, okay, maybe that's something we should not do. But then I saw the local Me First and the Gimme Gimmes tribute band, Gimme Gimme, play Straight Up, and saw how into it everybody got. So it was like, man, maybe we should do that. I don't know. Ours would be like different than the Me First version, but oh well. Anyway.
Right now I'm figuring out how to work a breakdown into a Billy Joel song, so that should be interesting.
Nice. Hey, look, we can buy followers and viewers according to this Twitch comment we just got. Let's see. Add to blacklist. There we go. Anyway. I think Kirsten says Halifax does one of her favorite Straight Up covers. I'm pretty sure I've heard that one, actually. Joe sounds with that ThinkSoJoE screen and the white. Oh, she wants us to play music. Gotcha. All right. Well, you and I get to take a half an hour break from each other while this interview plays. And
but I just got to see you.
I know. Well, we'll reconnect at around 7 o'clock. So just
fine.
Yeah, just call me back around then. We'll be good.
Okay.
All right. So we're gonna get into our first song, and I've got the list here, and I've got the list of why I'm playing bands here. So, all right, this is Hearts and Hand Grenades. Fantastic band. If you haven't seen them, they're friends of the show. We played them on the Music is Art episode. I went and saw them in Music is Art. They were fantastic. They've got a new album coming out at midnight called Between the Lines. And their CD release show is tomorrow at Mohawk Place at 7 p.m. with our friends in Shady Hawk and Gunther's Radio. And again, tomorrow, 7 o'clock, Mohawk Place. You do need to be vaccinated to go to Mohawk Place. More places should be like that, quite honestly. And this is the title track from that album. This is Hearts and Hand Grenades. This song's called Between the Lines on All WNY. The ThinkSoJoE Show. That's the wrong button. That's the default, like, that's the default. I had to restart the Roadcaster before the show. And I never switched over to the right bank. So that's like the default, like, show theme thing that they have programmed in. Anyway, okay, this is Hearts and Hand Grenades. The song's called Between the Lines on All WNY. ThinkSoJoE Show. I pushed it. There it is. Welcome back to the ThinkSoJoE show. I am ThinkSoJoE. I'm here with Tyler from On The Cinder. Jay's supposed to be here somewhere. I don't know.
He'll make his way in.
I'm sure he will. Anyway, you guys have a new album out.
Yep, just put it out, 10 inches. We have one exclusive color available. We have a second color available through the AF Record Club. That was very cool. It was very nice of them to throw us a bone like that. We'll have new ones coming out, a new set of pressings coming out probably around March. There's a huge backlog of vinyl plant pressing stuff. And the Adele record is just tossing us aside.
That's the rumor going around, is that Adele's record has been... Oh, here's Jay.
I had to tend to the goat farm out back.
That's the rumor going around, is that Adele's record has been throwing like everybody else's off the pressings so she could get a release in time for Christmas.
Who buys Adele vinyl?
I'll tell you what, man. I was record store day, the first record store day this year. I'm at Revolver. I showed up at 8 o'clock. I didn't know it was one of those things. I showed up at like 7 o'clock. I didn't know it was one of those things you're supposed to be there at like 4 in the morning for.
Jeez.
So
I didn't know people still did that.
Yeah, so I'm like at the end of the block. I'm behind this kid. And this kid behind me is like, oh, I just hope there's enough copies of the Ariana Grande record. And we're like, dude, I think you're okay. We get in there and there's, 8, 9, 10 copies of this record. Like, dude, yeah, here's the record you want. And then they're like, you can't pass records back. Like, dude, nobody else before him wants this. Like,
trust me.
He's literally the only person here for the Ariana Grande record. Like,
do you see how many studs that man has on his jacket? He does not want the Ariana Grande record.
I don't know what path you have to take through life that brings you to a point where you're waiting in line for record store day for the Ariana Grande record. Like, I respect it, and my hat is off to you. I want to know what brought you to this point.
Could you imagine, like, being of the mindset of, I need to get to the record store first thing in the morning, they're going to sell out of this Ariana Grande. Nothing against Ariana Grande, but who's going out to buy her record on record store day?
Yeah, I don't feel like her demographic is the type like old farts like us that collect vinyl all the time. Like,
right.
I don't even know if, I think vinyl was phased out by the time she was born.
You're probably right.
More power to her, I suppose, and to this person that you met. But I'm glad he got his record.
Yeah, I don't see how he wouldn't have gotten it. He probably could have gone back a week later and still got the record. But nobody was grabbing this. Again, nothing against her and her music or anything. But it's just not. Vinyl collectors aren't rushing out to buy Ariana Grande. I'm or not Adele records, as to get us back on topic here.
Since your birthday recently passed, happy birthday. Now I know what I'm getting you. I'm getting you both records, Adele and Ariana Grande.
They'll fit nicely in the collection.
Just right next to Sedentary Escape, and then the one copy of your band's record.
Right in between those will be the Menudo record I own. That is a true story, by the way. I do own a Menudo record.
Beautiful.
It's when Ricky Martin was in the band, so it was like, okay, yeah, I guess I'll take this one.
Do you happen to know the year on that record?
I do not.
That's got to be whatever. That's collectible. That is a collector's item right there. You should hold on to that until you give it to your kids. Someday that'll be worth $30.
I don't know how good the condition is on it. It came out of a collection of records I bought for $10.
Someday that'll be worth $10.
It'll pay for the collection.
It's hard to find vinyl though, especially if you go in looking for something specific. It can be really tough. Back when Record Theater closed, I pulled a huge haul out of there, but even then, it was like, wow, I had to walk in with just a list of every band I've ever heard of on my phone, because you just start walking around and it turns into the crazy like brain fog of, oh, have I listened to music ever? What is a band? Do I like Eminem? No. Wait.
I run into this problem all the time. I go in and I start to look through the letters of bands that I know what I want. and then I get sidetracked, and I find something that I probably might listen to, and I'm like, I should buy this. And then I find something that's even like further. Like I almost bought a Frank Zappa record the other day. I almost bought a Devo record not that long ago. And these are like bands that I am amused by, or artists, and I'm like, if I just had one of those infinite credit, like the Batman card, like I would absolutely pick up all of those things and more, and just I would buy Ariana Grande.
So you need to be glad you didn't come to the record store when Brian and I used to go, because I would be like, yeah, my budget's like $100, and then $400 later, I'm like, fuck.
I mean, I respect that you go with. Sometimes I go knowing I have no budget, and I just want to paw through them just for fun. But a lot of times the used bin comes up, especially like the heavily used bin, and you're like, these are $3, and I'm like, Jane Fonda's workout record, absolutely.
Yes, the hits of Richard Simmons.
Favorite game to play is go to the thrift store and search until you find Kenny Rogers' greatest hits. You'll be there for like 30 seconds.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I feel like I found like 6 copies of that within recent history, and I didn't even mean to.
It's not even a bad album. I own it. I should.
Okay, so
I also own Sedentary Escape, your new
yes,
your new EP.
That's the thing we're supposed to be talking
let's
about.
Talk about that, because that is what you're supposed to be talking about here.
So we COVID happened. We made a record. We made I guess technically it's a concept record. We were in the middle of making a different record, and we put a huge pause on that, and we're like, we need to break out of our shackles and just do something completely different.
Felt like we were in a rut.
Right.
Writing the same song, or trying to put too many pieces of other ideas into songs, and it was just kind of making a bunch of angular weirdness. So we decided to totally clear the chamber and say, if we're going to do a bunch of weird stuff, let's try it out in not like a neutral place, and not something that has the expectations of being on the full length that we'll eventually have coming out probably in like 2023 or something. And we decided to take all of the weird ideas that we had been kind of mishmashing and like backburnering, and put them all into one concept album that it's supposed to be played like kind of front to back without stopping. There's only one hard break in it, and all the other songs will flow together, which was just one of many ideas that we had for it. It's the album itself probably has the heaviest song that we've ever written, and probably some of the lightest songs that we've ever written.
You guys have done a couple of music videos for some of the songs on this album.
Yeah, we did some DIYers. We definitely took some chances. We had done this it's almost Christmas now, but a year ago we had started this charity thing where we had done a bunch of cover. You were part of it. You sang some songs with us. You sang you and Karina both sang some songs with us.
Yeah.
And we discovered that we suck butts at making videos, but you can still suck butts and make videos that are not, that are generally fun for people to watch, or at least in like for the first 30 seconds or so. So we did some of our own music videos this came around. We juggled a bunch of ideas. Some came to fruition, some didn't, but we did manage to pump out a few videos to go with the release. It seems like with the way music is going and Spotify and everything else and all the digital nonsense that like you almost have to.
Sure.
Yeah, so we pushed out a few music videos, and they were done very DIY, but they were a lot of fun to make. And some of them they're like in a way DIY and sort of from the heart. Like we sort of captured in some of the videos like all of these mementos in time, and like things like posters and just things that we were doing, and in the space that we play in every day, and it's just, you get a little bit of a window into the kind of random nonsense that we are a part of, and it was fun. It was a great time.
And over 2020, that practice space really kind of became our like home. I mean, obviously it's in our basement, but we spent a lot of time in there just because there was nothing else to do. Like I probably practiced more than I have since I started playing because there was just all the time to do it.
You guys went the opposite of the living Braindead route.
Oh, did you guys take a break?
We weren't taking any chances. Then Brian got hurt, and then Brian died, and
God bless his soul.
and so we would then, like, that was kind of our catalyst to be like, all right, Brian would want this to go on, and we knew that, he told us many times while
Sure.
he was hurt, but so we kind of were like, all right, let's find a bass player and go. And I was already talking to Ryan from Shambles beforehand about doing it, and then after Brian died, it's like, so you want to still do this?
Ryan's actually, before I even was included in the punk scene in Buffalo or nationally or otherwise, I met Ryan outside when we were going to college together. I think we were 17, 18, maybe 18, 19. We just walked outside of our dorm rooms and was like, hey, I got this, and we were, keep in mind, 18, 19, so I was like, I got this bottle of vodka, which was super badass at the time, and it was like the worst. It was like plastic handle, like the bottom of like you had to go under the shelf to get to it, and I was like, you want to finish this with me? And he does. I'm gonna do my best Ryan impression here. Fuck yeah, man. And then we became instant friends. But so I'm glad you're working with Ryan, because I've done 2 Shambles records here in the studio, and I hope someday to do a Living Braindead record.
Yeah, you actually came out, did some setup work for us for our mixers, so we can. We're gonna do an EP, and we're probably gonna try to record most of that at our practice spot and just send it to you. We're not worried about, keeping it in time or it being perfect or anything like that. So it's just
No, none of the Buffalo punk bands are, including us.
Yeah, that was a fun thing about Sedentary Escape, was that we did it no clicks, which is the first time that we've done that.
I like it better that way.
I think it is better that way. I mean, my drummer and I are both like clicks.
Yeah, nobody wants that.
I kind of, there's one song that we're doing now that's it's a newer song, and I'm just like, I wish I had a click on this one, but nothing else.
Yeah.
I think that even in Sedentary Escape, we would, every now and then, if we needed it, we would find ways to work in clicks, especially in spaces, so that we all came back together in the same spots. But other than that, we tried to really keep the natural flow of the album, because in our past records, we've always used clicks, and it definitely turns into some times where you go, wow, I never noticed how much we slow down here, or I never noticed how much we speed up through this part. And then it can really change sort of the sound profile of the song.
Sure.
When you want to go, instead of going to halftime, you go to halftime -5. And it's like, oh man, it sounds wrong now.
So you came by, you did some setup work for us, and you mentioned you guys are going on tour.
Yeah.
My drummer says, "Oh, they tour? My drummer wants to go on tour." I said, "Man, that dude is from the band that's at the level of touring that I would like to get to."
Okay.
Where you guys are kind of like, you're unavailable for a lot of stuff because you're on tour, but you're also like always around to hang out.
That's sort of the bummer. Clearly you can see at this interview, like, we're down a member, like,
right.
Yeah, so like we're definitely down. Like I caught you at the Aquabat show once upon a time. Oh,
yes.
Yep. I'm sorry. I was trying to. I'm sorry. But
you guys are paying attention to the cameras.
But yeah, like we're around a lot, but it's tough to orchestrate things. Mike's got a newborn, Fleur, and she's adorable.
She hit the road with us.
Yeah, she did. We had the first tour with a baby recently.
Cool.
She did okay. She actually was surprisingly good, all things considered. Like,
I was expecting screaming pooping machine. Not so much.
No, we did okay. But yeah, that's a symptom of, like, and not only that, but like we can't we have to be a little bit more selective about the local shows, because we really can't play so many. So, and I'm gonna rant here, but like, yeah, we can't play so many because we know we can only play like 1, honestly, realistically, right now in a month. So as much as we would like to jump on the obscure, Wednesday or whatever, like we just, being a parent, being in working situations is tough.
Well,
So-
yeah, we all have to have jobs that will also bend around being able to get on the road for, like, we're about to leave for 5 days, I think, and do Vermont, Connecticut, Massachusetts. I feel like I missed one.
Vermont, Connecticut, Massachusetts.
Oh no, then the fifth one would be Saratoga.
Saratoga,
right?
which is in New York, so you're good. Continue.
But yeah, that's, how many of like regular people can just be like, hey, I'm gonna leave for 5 days.
No, exactly. And, I'm lucky I'm my own boss. My drummer's boss is like, hey, if you ever need a tour, man, just let us know. So
Oh, so you
we
guys
gotta
just
go.
gotta book some dates, man. You're already there.
basically, yeah,
Just throw some dates down and just do it. We had 7 songs on our first tour, and we toured in a Subaru station wagon.
nice.
We had to take the resonant head off the bass drum, fill it with like duffel bags and suitcases and whatnot. And that was the only way that we could cram all the gear in there, like 2 combos, all the drums, sleeping stuff, clothes to bring.
Yeah, we
did. I think we probably did like 2 or 3 weeks in that wagon at a time.
Yeah, we were stuffing like we had one t-shirt design, and we were stuffing rolled t-shirts into the glove compartment, into the center console, under the seats, just to see if we could get as much in that thing as we could. And I think I broke the suspension on it shortly thereafter, just trying to get as much weight as we could. If we were in a situation where we had parallel parked in this New York City, and if we all sat in the car, once you open the door, if we all sat in the car, the door would be pinned against the curb and you couldn't open or close it. So you had to drive off the curb and let the passenger in because there was too much weight in the car.
That's crazy.
We were,
You've seen our rig. We have 1 rack case, some drums, and a shit ton of merch. So
that's the way to do it right there. Minimal is, especially when you're playing a bunch of like I can't tell you how many times we've tried and failed to bring a fucking I shouldn't curse, but I'm cursing.
you are more than welcome to. This
Well,
is my show.
fuck, shit, fuck tits. Bring the 810 fridge into a house venue, and they're just like, nope, that's not happening.
My favorite part of that is when we schlep the 810 into someone's basement and there's already an 810 in there and no one said anything. They're like, sweet, why don't we just rumble the foundation until the whole thing falls on us?
See, you guys work smarter, we work dumber. But so yeah, if you hit the road, we'll see you out there. We'll hit the road. We'll do some crazy shows, and
Take us with you next time.
I would absolutely love to.
Let's do that.
It's great as long as you can handle eating canned soup and sleeping in benches, then we're good.
I could do that.
Let's do it.
'Cause we're running and gunning a little bit because we're going to go do that 5-day run in the Northeast and then come back. It'll be Thanksgiving, and then we have 2 official release shows for the record that has already been officially released. But we haven't played anything, especially we haven't played anything at home with the record. We haven't played anything at all with the record, like when we did a run of the Midwest, but we didn't have it yet because of the turnaround time that we had talked about on even from the first pressing.
Right.
So we did a run out to the Midwest, which was really, really cool, and didn't have it, came home, got it. Now we're going to take it out to the Northeast for the first time and then come back and play the Bug Jar the 26th with Turkey Blaster, Omega, Sawed Off, and there's a 4th band on there. I really wish I could remember. 20-something. And then play the 27th immediately after at Hotel Dalmatia with Velvet Bethany, Rat Ops, Over and Out, and we'll wrap it up there.
Yeah.
I actually, we lost a bunch of bands on a show this past weekend, and a couple of people were like, "Why don't you just ask On The Cinder?" I'm like, because they have a they have an album release like 2 weeks later. So even if they would say yes, I wouldn't want them to say yes because that's
a tough
don't
part.
want to dilute the, don't want to
That's
have people come out to see you at Stamps, and then they're not going to go see you at Hotel Dalmatia for the release.
That's the unfortunate truth of the whole thing is you can't play every other weekend or every weekend, and especially when, again, Mike's got a newborn who it's not easy for necessarily him to do something like that. But even beside that, it's not always wise for a band to play every week, and some bands do, and that's okay. I'm not shitting on and criticizing anybody, but it gets, after 8 years deep, it's tough to play every week or every 2 weeks. But I wanted to bring up, sorry, this is a really rough cut segue, but you mentioned Hotel Dalmatia, which is where our release show is happening in Buffalo. They were recently on Man vs. Food. Did you know that?
I did not know that.
Well, they recorded a Man vs. Food.
They will be.
They will be,
Okay.
I think, in February. I think they were saying that the episode's going to air.
Yeah, apparently, they actually have an incredible wing selection. If you're a wing, are you a wing fan?
Yes.
I can't imagine you being Are you a Buffalo native?
I'm from Niagara Falls, but close enough.
Yeah,
That counts.
Yeah, you're definitely a wing fan then. If you haven't seen their wing menu, go. I had some Hawaiian wings there the other day. That was freaking clutch.
It's like 57 different styles or something, and that might not include the like standard mild, medium, hot barbecue. But I got the boom sauce wings. Those were fantastic. It's been really fun working with those guys. They said that the Man vs. Food people could not get enough of the peanut butter and jelly wings.
That sounds interesting.
I was shocked to hear that because that sounds super weird.
I feel like you're not giving your actual opinion here.
No, that does sound sounds really good.
Okay. Oh no.
So, I'm going to try to be at your show.
Okay. Well, I mean,
And I will try them there.
if you make it to the show, I will buy you at least one peanut butter and jelly wing.
Sounds good.
Because
Let's do
honestly, I kind of want to try one too.
I will try my best to be there. It's not the same day as Anti-Flag, is it?
Oh
It's
no.
the day before. No, you're on a Saturday, right?
Yeah, I think we're on a Saturday.
Yeah, so they're on Sunday, so that's
Good.
That's fine.
Oh, that's right. I totally forgot that show got moved. They were originally supposed to be November 2nd, right?
Yeah.
There was also we were supposed to be on a Lagwagon show in December. I don't know if that's happening or not.
I
If
don't know.
Lagwagon, if you're listening, make sure you make it to Buffalo on December 8th, I think. Because we intended to play with you.
The last time that they came, I had a pretty interesting interaction with their drummer.
Oh yeah.
That he actually came out to the Pink, and we were also at the Pink. And
Are we assuming that our listeners know what the Pink is?
Yeah, it's a Buffalo-based podcast. I'm sure they... If you don't know what the Pink is, it's a Buffalo, I guess we could say an institution.
Yeah, that's good.
it's the most popular Buffalo like dive bar shithole. But everyone goes there because you gotta. And we were playing pool, messing around, drinking a little bit, and our buddy Tim comes, hey, drummer for Lagwagon's outside. Oh, cool. I'm gonna go talk to him. And he had imbibed at the show, and I was like, hey man, I play in this band. We like your band. It's cool. Like maybe next time we could play with you or something. He goes, yeah. You ever watch the show Brain Games? He went on for like 30 minutes talking about how cool Brain Games was, which I have I have a background in psychology, so I'm like, yeah, it's neat. You want to talk about being in a band? And he's like, no, all those other guys are wimps. They're just sleeping on the bus. I came out here to party. We're like, whoa, well, you're in the right place.
Party and talk about Brain Games. I mean,
You're just chain smoking in the cold.
Good for him. Okay, so let's hypothetically, if we were on the Cinder, Living Braindead does a tour, what are the cities that you want us to hit? What are the places you want to play?
Care, man. I just want to get out and play.
Oh, come on, you gotta have some favorite cities.
I like Cleveland because if you go to Cleveland, I don't know if you knew this. When you play in Cleveland, you get into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame for free.
You don't even have to play Cleveland. You just have to be on the road.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You have to bring him a CD and a shirt.
You got to bring proof that your IDs have to match the names on some paraphernalia of the band.
Okay.
And so
Yeah,
yes,
we did that with Yellow Sauce. So
Nice.
We got there so late in the day, though. They're just like, yeah, okay, everybody gets in for free. Like, all right, cool.
I didn't know that happened.
They're generally like willing to argue for like about 32 seconds, and then after that, they're just like, come on in. We don't care that much.
Oh, they didn't even give it. We were like ready to pay for everybody. They're just like, no, everybody come on in. Your mileage may vary.
Okay, Cleveland's won.
I don't know, man. I've never been anywhere, so.
All right. Well, I can make
What's
some.
cool? Where are cool places to play?
Grand Rapids.
We've had success in Grand Rapids. If you're wanting to see the sights, there's a giant bean in Chicago. It's a giant mirror bean.
Chicago is also cool. That dude is a jerk, apparently.
The giant mirror bean guy?
The guy who made the bean.
There's a whole story there.
He's also the guy who made Vanta Black, the like blackest black. And there's a guy who apparently is also his like absolute artistic foil who like, and they just like hate each other. Like he hates that the bean guy,
the pinkest pink guy.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. He hates that the blackest black bean man is such a jerk. So he makes like everything that he does except makes it affordable and is not super pretentious about it. Because apparently Vanta Black is like crazy expensive.
And the only rule to using any of his stuff is you can't sell it to the bean guy.
Yeah, you can never sell it to Bean Guy.
Bean Guy can't have it.
Who is just like, he is having a meltdown right now if he's listening to this, because I'm not even trying to remember his real name.
Yeah,
he's the Bean Guy and he already hates it.
you guys can look it up if you want to. Why would you? But you can.
You could send him a personal message calling him the Bean Guy. And then send him a picture of that old guy who's thinking about those beans. Is this you?
Do we
Unfriended immediately.
How much time we got left on that bad boy?
I think we're getting close. It says 27:28 we're into.
Oh yeah,
so,
we got to be close.
So we got to wrap it up shortly. So.
Okay. Well, let's do our plug. So, On the Cinder, Living Braindead, 2023. We're going to be appearing in Cleveland and Chicago. And it's going to be a great time.
We'll go to Beantown too. Let's hit.
Yeah. Oh well. Yeah. I mean, that's definitely not in the way, but we'll work it out.
Yeah.
Great town though.
Figure it out.
So we got a new record out. It's out officially now on thecinder.bandcamp.com for all the merch supplies needed. We definitely do sales every Bandcamp Friday. We definitely have records available. What am I missing here?
The album is called Sedentary Escape. You can also find it in the AF Record Club. That is an exclusive color on the AF Record Club. We're going to have 2 more exclusive colors also coming in March, approximately. We have 2 release shows coming up right after this tour. One is the 26th in Rochester at the Bug Jar, and the next one is the 27th in Buffalo at Hotel Dalmatia.
That about wraps it up.
On the Cinder, thank you very much.
Thank you.
We'll see you guys soon.
We didn't say anything about wrestling or The Simpsons.
For once. What do you know?
Unbelievable.
That's going to make it in.
Are you goddamn kidding me? How's it my job to save the known universe every time I get out of bed? A hero is just a fancy word for somebody who doesn't get paid enough. Where's my retirement plan? Where's my health insurance? Do I even get a say in all this, or does the record just skip every time I think I've found an exit? A terrible fate is an understatement. Quite frankly, no way to greet a stranger. I've been hit in the head a few too many times, and I'm sure at some point my heart's gonna give out. Don't worry though, we'll be just fine. Things will get better. Try not to think about it. Maybe you should light it up. Maybe I would lighten up if I could only keep these damn lights on. The cycle is getting old, and so am I. We're to death by the end of the day, and reincarnated back into these same shoes every morning, which, by the way, are wearing pretty thin, along with my patience. Seems like everybody wants a piece of me these days. This guy's been following me around trying to sell me crap he found off the ground all afternoon. abandon me. Things will get better. Try not to think about it. Maybe you should light it up. No choice, no contest. Leading you to play your part. No choice, no contest. You've been singled out. No contest, no choice, no contest, no choice, no contest. You've been singled out.
All right, that was On The Cinder, that song called Now What from the new EP, Sedentary Escape, available now. Get it through their Bandcamp, get it on vinyl, 10-inch vinyl, if Adele hasn't knocked the rest of them off the presses.
That
That is
was really good. I enjoyed that.
I don't know why my microphone started sounding like an AM microphone right in the middle of the thing, but like an AM radio, like, oh well, whatever, it worked. As long as you could hear what I was saying, who cares?
I don't think anyone gave a shit, Joe.
No. Usually we, and Tyler with the reference at the end of we didn't make any Simpsons or wrestling references, because usually that's what On The Cinder's interviews with me devolve into. I called an Uber as we were going downstairs, and Tyler goes, hey, so did you get a chance to see Full Gear? And I'm like, we start talking. I'm like, dude, my Uber's turning up Hurdle right now, and there's no place for him to pull over, so I should get out the door. So hated to cut the conversation short, but I don't want to make an Uber sit on Hurdle where there's no no shoulder to pull over to. Anyway,
Yeah.
John Johnson's in the chat talking about the Sabres beat the Penguins. Yes, they did. The 49ers beat the Rams this week. It's a good sports week for me, except the that team from Toronto beat Buffalo on my birthday. But what are you going to do? Can't win them all, I guess. Anyway. Yeah, On The Cinder, great.
I don't pay attention to hockey at all.
Yeah, great band, On The Cinder. Check them out when they come to your town, if they come to your town. And I know Kirsten said during the interview that she's already got tickets to something else when they're in Rochester, but they will certainly be back. And I'm gonna definitely try my best to go see them when they're here in Buffalo on Saturday after Thanksgiving. There,
I'm disappointed in you, Kirsten. You should have predicted that that show would be happening.
On the Cinder's releasing an EP, and they're going to be in your town. You need to plan better, I guess. I don't know.
Always clear your schedule. Always.
It's the Lagwagon show they referenced is apparently still happening. I don't, according to Lagwagon's website, I don't know. I'm just assuming that Lagwagon would update if they weren't still playing that show. I could be wrong. I don't know.
ain't going to that shit.
Digital Afterlife's going to be in Rochester. That's another fun band to see if you haven't seen them.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I would like to do a mixed genre show with them.
Absolutely. There you go, Kirsten. When you go see Digital Afterlife, you can go bug Greg Burt to bring us to Rochester.
Are they still doing Optic Oppression too, or are they just focusing on Digital Afterlife?
I haven't heard the name Optic Oppression in quite a while, so I'm actually not sure.
Okay.
That's a valid question.
Because I was listening to them yesterday, and I was like, "Are they even doing anything anymore?" Because it's another band I'd probably like to go on a mixed genre show with.
I do enjoy some Optic Oppression. I haven't really heard anything from them lately.
I've been out of touch with everything that's been going on. Like I was saying when we were trying to fill all the slots for the show, so many bands went defunct over the pandemic, and I didn't even realize it.
Yeah, I mean, they're very active on social media, but I can't tell if they're actually doing anything off of social media. So
Just filling the time.
I guess. Yeah, that's definitely a band I haven't heard from in a while. They're a fantastic band. I still don't know how they got to open for Fozzy, but now, in hindsight, it's like, I'm kind of glad I'm kind of glad that nobody, I'm kind of glad that it wasn't like a more suitable band for Fozzy, because then it would be like, I don't know, some right-wing bullshit band.
I can think of a few.
I want dope. You want dope photos of your set? I want the living Braindead in Rochester. So that's what she's gonna say. That's what she's gonna say to Greg, I guess. So she's gonna hold the photo.
Kirsten is what is referred to as a true ally.
Absolutely. Yeah, John Johnson mentioned he sent Ramones. I'm pretty sure I saw that one. There were so many. Like, by the time I looked at my phone, it was like, so-and-so and 105 other people posted on your wall for your brother. Like, yeah, I'm not reading all that. I'm pretty sure I know somebody. I saw somebody posted a Ramones thing. If I hit like, I saw it. But there was way too many. Like, they just started popping up in my regular feed the other day. I'm like, why am I seeing all these all of a sudden? I don't want to, I didn't want to look at them then. I don't want to look at them now that it's like 3 days past my birthday.
Yeah, no, the feed is consistently messed up.
Yeah. I mean, I appreciate all the birthday wishes. I appreciate everybody taking the time to reach out, and, all 100 and something people that did. But I mean, I ain't got time to read all that shit. I had a show to promote, and voiceovers to do, and all that other fun stuff. So,
and this is why I handle most of the living Braindead social media.
Yes, exactly, exactly. I knew I had to come home and skip through the AEW pay-per-view because I was working for WrestleMania that night. And I had already warned him, dude, I'm gonna come home and try and watch as much of the show as I can before I record for you. And then one of my other clients had an emergency situation, had to leave town. So he's like, here's the script, but you're not gonna hear from me for 2 days. Luckily, everybody's okay. So, but yeah, so I got home, sped through the pay-per-view, and was like, all right, let me hurry the hell up and get through this and get through those 2 voiceovers, and then I can, I cleared out my inbox that night, and I took Sunday off. It's I haven't had a day off in years. I'm taking Sunday off. Fuck this.
You'd never take a day off. You even worked on your vacation.
I did. Well, I did tell him, I did tell that client, when I'm in San Francisco, there's a good chance I'm not going to fucking work, depending on how thick the walls of the hotel are. I'm going to bring gear. Doesn't mean I'm working. When
I would just give yourself the time, dude.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, one job is not terrible, but one job when you're worried about waking up the person in the room next door is another, is that's another vibe entirely. I'm sitting there and doing this script when I'm in Rochester in this hotel room, and I'm looking, asking the front desk clerk if I can find someplace quiet to work, and she points me towards the breakfast area, which is right off the lobby and open. So it's that's not gonna work. Yeah. I was thinking more of a storage closet, an empty room, or a conference room or something, just somewhere where I can just go in, not have anybody around me, and just do the job and go back to my own room. But, I was like, all right, I'm just going to try and do this from my room. She said, well, if I get a noise complaint, I'm going to be knocking on your door. I'm like, I wouldn't expect anything less. So I got in there and I set up with my little Zoom recorder, and I put on my headphones and I cranked up the gain, and I'm sitting there here's your wrestling news for September, whatever the date was. Just and I warned him ahead of time. I'm like, this ain't going to be anything like what you're used to. And then I told him, I'm like, dude, if it's anything like this when I'm in San Francisco, it's not happening. John, yes, I do. I work with WrestleMania probably about once a week or so, sometimes twice a week. and just kind of fill in on his days off. So, which is, it's that's where people know me from. It's from Slat Rock and from WrestleLamia and from Wrestle with Andy and all the wrestling channels I do. They come to my channel, our channel. Kevin's my writer there at Things You Might Not Know. They come to our channel and they go, oh, hey, Wrestle with Andy. Hey, Slat Rock. Hey, WrestleLamia. I know that guy. I know that voice. It's like, yep, that's my legacy. I'm the voice of wrestling YouTube now. Yet I can't get Matthew to let me on Botchamania. I can't get him to respond.
God damn it, Matthew.
I keep messaging him, or I keep like tweeting at him like, dude, I voice all these wrestling channels. Let me do the book reading gimmick on your channel. Like my whole shtick is I'm the book reading guy in that one band. And also the voice of wrestling YouTube. I'd be ideal for that segment on Botchamania, right? I don't know why he doesn't pay any attention. I guess I've never actually mentioned what channels I work for because I don't really want people to be like, oh, you're the dude from those channels. Like, it's bad enough my voice gets recognized for that. Like, I don't want to be the WrestleLamia guy. I don't want to be the Slat Rock guy. I don't want to be Wrestle with Andy because, Wrestle with Andy is a different dude who just happens to hire me to voice his stuff. Which I could do one of those tonight.
I worked a job like that once. It was weird.
I don't think anybody's trying to pass me off as anybody I'm not. Like, I'm like, just people recognize me from these channels. Like, it's a whole different thing than like, the ones where it's like, hi, my name is Amir. Like, yeah, people believe that, I'm sure. And like, I can't, there's not really a mechanism on the platform I use to like turn work down without, getting punished for it. So it's like, I can't be like, look, I don't want to do this because I don't want to voice, I don't like, give me white dudes to voice. You know what I mean? Like I don't like hire somebody of the ethnicity that you are trying to portray here to do this because nobody's gonna like, it's not like I'm sitting here doing an accent. I'm not like, fucking Apu,
I'd be very mad at you if you did.
I would be very mad at myself. I mean, the Apu controversy is a whole thing in itself that, I don't necessarily... I agree that they've decided to stop having white actors play characters of color on the show. But it's another thing, like, it's not like they ever portrayed Apu in a negative light, I think. But like, no, I definitely am not sitting there doing fucking accents or anything. So it's like, okay, you want me to say my name's, Amir or, whatever. Like, I'll say it, but like, nobody's gonna believe you. Like, all right, just pay me and you pay me and I'll do that. So.
Yeah, it's probably for a channel that only gets like 75 views a video anyway. So.
Yeah. It's usually, I mean, sometimes it's just like they're 5 or gig videos or whatever. Like, okay, I mean, I got no problem saying that I'm you, but like, if you're not hiring me for the voiceover, they're going to know that it's not you. Or I like the ones where it's like, hi, my name is so-and-so, and you can call this number right now, and I will tell you how to do this, right? But then when you call the number and you talk to that guy, like, that guy doesn't sound like me, so why don't I just say, call and talk to this guy, instead of call and talk to me, and my name is this, I don't get it.
Marketing, baby.
I guess. But, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I've definitely, like, turned down jobs that, like, have been like, all right, I'll take the fucking punishment for this guy. I'm not doing this shit. Like, yep. And this guy who's, like, for fucking Plandemic, the video they got, like, that movie they got pulled from YouTube.
Yeah, I remember when you almost got pulled into that.
Oh, well, so I did a video for it. I'm like, nobody's ever going to hear this. Fuck it, I'll do it. And then, like, when he sent me another one, I'm just like, you know what? I'm not comfortable doing this. Like, I'll tell you what, here's your money back for the first one. Go hire somebody to do both of these because I don't want any part of this. And the guy goes, oh, no, I mean, like, you know, you're just playing a role, you know, like, you know, Leonardo DiCaprio wasn't really on the Titanic. I'm like, yeah, but Leonardo DiCaprio's character in Titanic isn't like spreading a conspiracy about a worldwide pandemic that can like do actual harm to people. Like, there's a huge difference there. So yeah, I mean, you know, so it's now like in my like bio, like, don't, you know, ask me if you have anything kind of political in your script that you need done. And I'm like, yeah, Leonardo DiCaprio also wasn't playing someone telling people not to get on lifeboats. Exactly. Like, it's like Leonardo DiCaprio playing a fictional character in Titanic is not the same as me playing a guy who's telling people that this very real and very deadly pandemic is a plot by the U.S. government that they linked up with China to fucking mass produce this virus and kill everybody. Like, so stupid, so dumb. Like, I'm not doing it. Like no, you want to do harmful shit, get somebody else to do it. So now,
so are you saying that you can't pass for Leonardo DiCaprio? Because that's a shock to me.
I don't know, man. I according to my rant last week, I think I'm better looking than Leonardo DiCaprio. Easy for me to say.
I mean, I see it.
Okay. I don't know. I've only seen half of Titanic. I've told that story many times.
Well, if you're better looking than Leo, I am better looking than Chris Hemsworth.
Sure, we'll go with that. I'm okay. I will give you that. I will. We're good-looking people in this band. Everybody who does this podcast is good-looking people. You see Jay and Tyler? Look how good-looking they were during that interview. Everybody that comes on this show is good-looking.
There are a couple of strapping lads.
Yes, they very much are. Definitely, I can't recall any ugly people ever being on this show. I think we've all been good-looking people. Me being the worst-looking one out of all of them, but, you know. She's, everyone's good. Yeah, everyone's good-looking. We're all good-looking.
Yes, we're all good-looking.
Very good-looking. Anyway.
You are apparently a man-beast.
I guess. Somebody said that? I don't know. I didn't see. Oh, I see that. Yes, I do. John Johnson said I'm a man-beast. John Johnson.
Yes. That I will agree with.
I'm definitely hairy enough to be a man-beast.
You've got that Wolverine stature.
Tell you what, man, I weighed myself this morning and it was 204 on the dot. I'm just like, holy shit. I was 225 like 2 months ago. I'm like, yeah. Like, super excited to be 204. Like, I've already like called out NXT Cruiserweight Champion Roderick Strong on Twitter. Like, coming for your belt, dude. I'm light enough to challenge for it now. Anyway, Karina calls us dorks.
What of it? Deal with it.
Yeah. But
want to fight about it?
Yeah, I mean, but again, back to like The Simpsons. Yeah, I agree with them taking the white actors off of the non-white characters, but I don't like, they never treated Apu as like a second-class citizen. You know, like I guess maybe, you know, the accent was problematic, I guess, but I mean, like, he was always in, you know, any storylines he had were all like, you know, storylines that could happen to anybody. It wasn't just because like he's Indian, we're gonna do this. So
BRB, Kirsten, is this AIM? I didn't hear your door shut.
She's got to put her away message up.
I know, right? It has to be like every other letter, capital, lowercase. And it has to be like an Amy Lee quote or some shit.
Right.
In black and red, you got a rose on either end, and it's glittering.
Those were the days. I remember, for the
yeah.
longest time, I could not say the words instant messenger. I just couldn't say it. Like, I was walking, I remember walking through the mall with one of my friends just trying to say instant messenger and just could not do it.
Instant messenger.
It was a tricky thing to say for me back then.
For you,
I
apparently.
can say it now. There's just some words that are tricky for some people. I remember having had a conversation with Annie from Jackknife Stiletto when they played one of our Halloween shows a few years back, and we're standing outside, and she just randomly mentions that she's not able to say the word Arabica, like the coffee.
Arabica?
Yeah, like the coffee beans, Arabica.
Arabica.
Is that how you say it? Am I saying it wrong?
No, no, it was correct. I'm being an asshole.
John Johnson says that Hearts and Hand Grenades song was awesome, by the way. He's going to get that song. It comes out tonight at midnight, that album.
Nice. It was pretty good.
The album called Between the Lines. That song was also called Between the Lines. That On The Cinder record's also out now. It's called Sedentary Escape. That song was called Now What? Which is actually one of my favorite songs on the album. It's a little different than the usual On The Cinder stuff, which is, kind of what they were going for. So kudos to them for pulling it off.
Is Karina threatening to fist me in the chat right now?
Maybe. I don't know.
That's how I choose to take that, Karina.
Yeah, sure.
Inappropriate.
Where the hell are my notes? We're coming up close to a song break in a few minutes, but anyway, there's my notes. Okay.
Yeah, 3 minutes.
Yeah.
Do you have to read shows?
No, I mean just the one, because we're playing a song from a band that's playing on Saturday at 9 p.m. at Nietzsche's. Our friends in Cardboard Homestead will be playing on that show for Sparky's Friggin' B-Day with Laszlo and Friends and Jungle Steve and Walking Talking Hash Browns. That's an interesting name right there.
Walking Talking Hash Browns.
Yes. Jungle Steve and the Walking Talking Hash Browns.
Hash browns.
I don't even like hash browns.
You are a monster.
I like potatoes in basically any other form. Just I don't like hash browns. It's a texture thing.
You like dry baked potatoes, don't you?
Maybe. I don't know. I always have like mashed potatoes, or Karina will like cut up potatoes and put them in the fridge for me for the week. So she says yes. Yes, she did mean she was going to fist you.
Solid.
Yeah.
Do you have those fake Hulk fists? Because that's the only way I choose to take it.
Oh, we could get those. She said Allison took the phone.
Yeah, sure.
We could get you some of those. I'm sure we could find those somewhere. Anyway, our friends in Cardboard Homestead are playing on that show on Saturday at 9 p.m. at Nietzsche's. And I'm trying to kill time until the clock ticks over. I guess I don't need to do that, but, kind of trying to keep some form of consistency here.
Or at least you're doing that in some spots.
Yeah, somewhere along the way. Kirsten forgot she had this on, and there were voices coming from her room. She startled herself. This is Cardboard Homestead. The song's called For Far Too Long on All WNY ThinkSoJoE Show. Cardboard Homestead on all WNY Think So Joe show, song called For Far Too Long. So,
For far too long.
For far too long. It's been far too long since I've seen Cardboard Homestead. Maybe I should go to this on Saturday. I don't know. Maybe I should stay home and, you know. I am literally, like, after the Anti-Flag show, I'm not going anywhere for like 2 weeks. I'm just
Sounds like it's probably best.
trying to avoid any kind of any more of a COVID scare before I go to San Francisco. Like, I don't want anything ruining that trip.
Understandably.
And look at me, I'm leaving in a month. 1 month from today. That's exciting. It's getting closer.
You're going all the way across the country by yourself. How do you feel?
I feel good. I don't mind traveling. Like going sightseeing by myself. Like the one time I went to New York by myself, and I'm just kind of because I went to go do a movie with our mutual friend Sarah Burns, and I'm like walking through New York just kind of like with this mentality of don't look like a tourist, don't look like a tourist, don't look like a tourist. But which is probably what I'll do in San Francisco too, just kind of walk around like, hey, yeah, I've been here plenty of times before.
Gonna visit the Full House house just like everyone else.
That's the
Are you
plan.
gonna take the Alcatraz tour?
I don't know. I have a whole day in between things I got to do, so I'll find something to do, I'm sure. I'm looking for some local music out in San Francisco for that night. It's a Saturday night. There's got to be something going on. But I haven't really looked too much into it lately, so I don't know. I'm going to probably pull up events on Facebook after and just be like, hey, what's going on that Saturday night in San Francisco?
Hit some Reddit threads for San Francisco local music.
That's a good idea. Yeah, I know, like, at some point while I'm there, the San Francisco Symphony is doing, like, one of those movie play-alongs with Home Alone. And I'm like, oh, that'd be so cool. But it's like, I think it's, like, during the day when I've got other stuff to do. So it's like, I can't.
Boo.
Yeah. But cross-contamination is what I call crowd-based COVID spreads. Yeah, I could see that.
Don't mind me. I'm still catching my breath from the break. I had to run all the way down. I'm on the 3rd floor right now. I left my chapstick in the living room, which is on the 1st floor. So during Cardboard Homestead, I had to run all the way down to the 1st floor to get my fucking chapstick because I was dying. So, like, I'm now getting some heartburn from sloshing my dinner around in my stomach. So I'm doing good.
It'll do that. I haven't left the room since the show started. When the On The Cinder interview was on, I was like, where's that Menudo record? What year did that come out?
So what you're saying is that's not Pepsi in that bottle you're drinking from.
Maybe not. Cool event happening in Rochester. Live D&D with a literal live orchestra and background actors. That actually does sound pretty cool. I'm not. I've never played D&D in my life, but that does sound pretty cool.
That sounds fantastic.
Absolutely.
It's just basically LARPing with an audience and score.
Right. That'd be cool.
I would do that shit. Hell yeah.
I'd watch it.
You could convince me to participate in some form.
I don't know. Somebody would have to like teach me what I'm doing, I guess. But I'd participate. Like I said, I've never played D&D in my life, so I don't know much about like the role playing games and all that. So
yeah, but you know how to improv.
A little bit, yeah, I guess. I mean, I do a show every week of 2 hours of no fucking planning in advance, so I'm sure I probably could, improv enough to do that.
Yeah. It's amazing what you can do when you put your mind to it, Joseph.
I don't put my mind to anything. Things just come out. It just happens.
It just happens?
It just happens. especially this show.
Yeah, I know.
Karina will be sitting there. We do the pre-show pictures, and she posts on Facebook like, so what are we talking about on the show this week? Like, the hell if I know. I don't know what's trending on Twitter right now. I don't come into this with any sort of plan. What is trending on Twitter? I don't even know.
That's a good question.
Let's find out. Let's see what's in the news right now. What's what we should be. Lady Gaga continues her House of Gucci tour with a dress that's possibly even sexier than the last. Headlines.
I'm over that fucking Gucci shit right now.
I don't know anything about it. Rapper Young Dolph shot and killed in Memphis, according to police. I don't know who that is.
It sucks either way.
It does. You hate to see anybody die. Yeah, I don't really care about anything that's trending right now. System of a Down is trending. Why is System of a Down trending?
That's a good question. Let's find out.
Staples Center, the iconic home of the Los Angeles Lakers and Clippers, among others since 1999, will now have a new name beginning December 25th, Crypto.com Arena. It's believed to be the largest U.S. venue naming rights deal to date. And somebody shared some lyrics of a System of a Down song. So I don't know. Karina says, Kevin,
I don't know
first
how I
world
feel
problems.
about all that. First world problems, huh?
Oh, here. Okay, so honest answers only. What are your 5 most listened to bands or artists in high school? And I guess a bunch of people said System of a Down, which is why they are currently trending. I definitely was listening to System of a Down in high school. Like last couple of years, because that first album came out around that time.
Yeah, I think that came out in 98.
Yeah, I mean that sounds about right. I mean, I could just look it up. I do have a computer in front of me.
The album that definitely got the most spins for me was Wisconsin Death Trip by Static X.
Oh yeah, definitely for me too. I've got both of those on vinyl. System of a Down, June 30th, 1998. I don't know how I ended up with this. Like, I don't know where I saw it. I think maybe it was like the daily deal on Pop Market or something. And I'm just like, oh, yes, definitely must buy this album. And then Wisconsin Death Trip, I think I probably saw it Revolver or something. Like, yes, must buy. 1998, Kirsten was also in school, but like kindergarten.
Oh man, that's funny.
Somebody came out to the show the other day, and they knew Karina from high school, and she's like, "We've known each other since we were 17," and I'm standing there with you, like, who knows somebody since they were 17? Which
fucking weirdos, that's who.
Yeah. Back in high school, sitting in English class, me beatboxing Faith and you singing it.
What the fuck was wrong with us?
I don't know. Limp Bizkit was popular at the time.
That still doesn't explain our reaction to it. Oh fuck, no, that hurt. Ow.
Yeah.
Why would you even bring that up?
That was a long time ago. Long time ago.
No. I can't even, like, I have a hard time contextualizing some of it now. I can still smell all the weed in the hacky sack circle in the Family Dollar parking lot, though.
When I used to bring bottles with like fucking screwdrivers in them, like orange juice and vodka. You know, like who's drinking with me this morning?
Oh, that's right. You were part of that circle.
Oh yeah, for sure. In the Family Dollar parking lot out there.
And it was like, what hair is Judah gonna show up with this week?
Right. See, Judah's the one that got me into that System of a Down album. that first System of a Down album. Because he was, like, I think one of his bands covered Sugar or something like that. And I was like, it's so cool. And then I, like, bought the album. I'm like, this whole album's so cool. And it still is. To this day. Like, such a great album. I might throw it on after this while I'm watching AEW. But yeah, I mean, that was...
Yeah, do it.
That hack circle. And then that was always where I would decide if I was going to school that day or not. was in the hack circle. Like, do I want to go to school? Do I want to go somewhere else? What do we do? Who wants to skip with me? Let's go.
I could never get away with that shit because my mom worked for the school board.
Hope my mom's not listening. I mean, somehow I only missed like 14 days my senior year, but I swear I skipped way more than that. We went, there was one time, it was me, and this dude Jimmy and this dude Dan. We all skipped school, and we met up with one of our friends from Grand Island, and we did this 2 days in a row. We skipped school. We met up with one of our friends from Grand Island the first day, and she this was back when they didn't have cigarettes back behind the counter. They just had them you get them from the shelf. You just take them to the cashier. So she taught my friend Dan how to steal cigarettes. So the next day we're walking, we're skipping school. We're walking through Tops. He goes to try and steal cigarettes and he gets caught. And so me and this dude Jimmy are just booking it out the door. They're like, you guys did no, we don't got nothing. They're like, okay, go ahead. They didn't even check us. We just said we didn't have anything. We didn't. But they're like, okay, go ahead. And we left, and we wandered around a little bit. We wound up at the library, and Jimmy goes to the payphone, and he calls Dan's house. Because this is back when you had to call people in their houses. And he calls Dan's house, and Dan's mom answers, and Jimmy goes, hey, is Dan there? And she goes, no, he's in school. He goes, are you sure? And she goes, he damn well better be. And then we start walking. We're walking by Tops, and we see the cop cars out there. We see Dan getting loaded. Oh man. That was
well, let me just say that I am very happy that I never skipped school with you.
Well, I think you would have been smarter than trying to steal cigarettes from Tops, but
yeah.
I don't know. I would skip school and go to other schools, get kicked out of other schools.
I skipped school once. I skipped school with Leo and Marcus. And we went down to the falls to see if we could meet Korn, because that was the day of the Sick and Twisted tour.
Okay.
So we were just kind of meandering around the falls to see if we could see Korn.
See if Korn just showed up to
we had heard that they were going to be there.
Yeah. No, I skipped at random. I had a homeroom teacher that would just, you just go up to her and be like, yo, I'm not here today. And she'd just mark you absent. So you could go to whatever classes you needed to go to and just not go to the other ones. So even days I skipped school, I was in school for part of the day anyway. But there's been times where I've gone to Grand Island High School and got kicked out. Because my buddy and I, we were dating girls who went to Grand Island, so we skipped and we went to go to their school, and we found them, and then we got caught and we got kicked out. So it's man, I'm getting kicked. We got kicked out of a school we don't even go to. This is great. And then other days, just I would hang out with my stoner friends, and I wasn't much, and I'm still not much of a stoner back then. But we would just go to people's houses. And they wouldn't have we'd just be sitting there with Teletubbies on TV and shit. Everybody, we'd go to the fucking little, the corner store there, and they'd buy like all the expired bacon bits and shit so they could make a giant fucking bong out of the containers. Like these are my high school memories, folks. Yeah.
Apparently, Korn was at Tops stealing cigarettes.
I guess. I'd say you should come with us. You would have met Korn. They were the cops arresting the dude. Jonathan's out there and in like the outfit he wore in the South Park episode, and he's just like, stealing cigarettes is wrong, guys.
He goes to read them the rights and he just starts scatting.
You have the right to boom. Yeah.
Under arrest. Rest.
Love it. Yeah, no, that was yeah, I would occasionally I'd go to the falls. Sometimes I'd just go to the Winter Garden when that was still a thing.
Oh, I missed the Winter Garden. I missed the spiral staircase.
Yeah, I just go there and just fucking hang out for the day because I didn't feel like being in school. So just clickety bass tones, no police sirens. Yeah, there was I definitely would just skip school for no fucking reason other than to just do it. I'd end up like seeing my mom like, oh shit, like you guys didn't see me. I'm up there in like the fucking brightest colors like New York Rangers hat I could possibly fucking own, but like, nope, not me. I was like walking through the Rainbow Mall one day, and like my guidance counselor was there with like some students for whatever fucking reason, and saw me and said something to me, and I forget what she said, but I'm like, nope, and then took off. Like, yeah, I just sometimes just didn't feel like being in school. Or I would just, like I said, I could talk to my guidance, my homeroom teacher, like, hey, I'm not here. And I'd go to the classes I wanted to go to, and I would leave. Like, man, I like my friends in this English class. I'm going to go to this English class, but I'm not going to go to my other English class because I don't like the people in that one.
Must have been nice to have so much freedom.
Yeah, no, my mom didn't work for the school board, so I was all right.
Like literally that one time that I skipped school, she found out about it. the goddamn vice principal called her directly.
So at the time, I had never heard the phrase "your ass is grass and I'm a lawnmower," and somebody said that the assistant principal Longo had said that, and I misheard them. And I thought he said, your ass is grass and I'm Longo? And I'm like, yeah, okay, sure. I don't know how the fuck I never got caught, because, like, the rumor was he would be, like, on the roof of the school looking for students who were skipping. Like, I don't know. Kirsten says one of her friends ran into a teacher at the Blue Huron Festival, and the teacher was clearly high AF. Friend, also high AF. Such an awkward meeting, she's sure. I would imagine.
Sounds like it.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, like, yeah, but I definitely spent apparently I only missed 14 days my senior year, and I don't know how the fuck that's even possible, because I definitely was out of school for more days than that. The one time that I actually had a genuine reason for missing school, which was my grandfather died, and I was at his funeral. Was like I got called down to like we had what was called morning court, where you get called down to the auditorium, and they have the principal's there and the vice principal's there, and the assistant is there, and they're just why weren't you in this class? Why'd you skip this class? Whatever, like whatever you were in trouble for, they'd ask you about it, and then they'd hand out a suspension or whatever the fuck. So I missed school for my grandfather's funeral. And then the next day, the next school day, they're like, oh, why weren't you in this class? Like, I wasn't here at all. Like, oh, okay, no problem, go back to class. Like, all right, sure. The next day I get called down again. Why weren't you in this class? I literally told the other guy yesterday I literally wasn't here. I was at a funeral. And he's like, oh, you need to go take this and get it signed by your homeroom teacher. Like, okay, dude, sure, whatever. Like the one time I actually didn't skip school and wasn't there, I got marked as being there. So
I completely forgot about that morning court shit.
Yeah.
I think I only had to go to that once.
I don't know if I'm sure I probably had to go to it more than those 2 times, but I mean, like, I was never a bad kid. I would just never fucking go to class sometimes. I always had a problem with the teachers who were married to Jesus. I had a couple of those, and I was just like, you know what, fuck this class. And I just, like, I'm going to fail this class anyway. I'm out of here. So I kind of, you know, like, so it was, you know, I was skipping class for weeks before they finally said anything. And you can't be a bad kid if you're not there. Yeah, but I would skip classes for weeks, and then I'd finally get called down to, you know, morning court. Like, why weren't you in this class? Like, because I'm failing it anyway. Like, no, dude, you need to go. I'm like, fuck, I don't want to go. Like, I definitely my senior year had a couple of like, I married, like, Jesus is my husband teachers, and I'm just like, yeah, I'm done with this. Like, don't, you know, my high school addled brain was you know, who loved Marilyn Manson was like, yeah, fuck this. I don't want to deal with this Jesus freak, you know, like, which
that shit shouldn't be allowed.
I mean, I think nowadays it probably isn't.
Oh, you know they let that shit slide in some places.
I mean, some places, yeah, but I'm sure, like, if I wanted to get all fucking, you know, if I really wanted to, you know, and had thought about it, I could be like, yo, this teacher's trying to preach to me here. Especially the one that, like, separated. There was this girl that came to our school. She was not an exchange student, but like, she just came over from another school, and like, I've told this story on the show before. She sits down next to me in the other English class I had, the one that you weren't in, and sits down next to me, and this teacher goes, "Oh no, that's not good. The devil and the witch sitting together." Actually, I don't think it was English. It might have been something else. The devil and the witch sitting together, and she separated us. We weren't doing anything. Like, so, you know,
I'm pretty sure I know which teacher you're talking about.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you the name if you mentioned it. I don't remember, but, you know, like, Kirsten had some Jesus freak teachers because she grew up in the boonies. One literally screamed in her face, slamming her hands on the desk until I thought they'd bleed. Because I pointed out Jesus wasn't in the fictional book we were reading, reading in history class to boot. In history class, all right. Yeah, I mean, like, as soon as, like, you know, like, I think, you know, my brain back then was like, I don't want to, no, you know, fuck this Jesus freak, you know. And I was always the kind of, you know, like, I was always getting shit for wearing shirts with, like, 666 or Antichrist on them, you know, like, oh, you're a Satanist. Like, no, actually, I'm an atheist. I don't believe in any of that shit you guys are talking about, you know. Anyway, we gotta get out of here. That was a great topic of discussion for that last little bit there, kind of sped through.
Oh, here's your cab fare. Can't wait to see you go. Jesus Christ.
I try to end the show on time, just mostly because, like, you know, as soon as the show's over, I'm like, I got to put TNT on. But anyway, Kickstart Rumble, our friends, they're playing this Friday at 7 p.m. at Thin Man Brewery. If you like this next song and you're in the area, be sure to go check them out. This is a song called Austin on All WNY ThinkSoJoE Show, and we'll see you next week. This button. And this one.
I've been up and down the East Coast. Heaven's where I wanna be. Drove my 88 across the desert. Ran out of gas outside of San Antonio.